Nice, nice. There he is. We can't see you on the screens on the side. There you go. Hello, Remco.
Hi, good morning, I guess.
What time is it over there?
6 in the evening.
Oof. All right. I hope I'm not interrupting your sleep, but welcome to the Bike Fit conference here in Morgan Hill, California. We're super excited to have you join us. You're on the TVs on the side of me, so I'm going to be looking to the side, even though the camera might be over there. I am super excited to have you. Thank you so much for taking the time. And before we get started, I want to say good job for your TT ride in Rwanda over there. I saw that you had another.
I would say more than a good job. Historic.
It's an historic job. I'm from Europe. We're a little bit more blunt. He'll understand. But amazing job, Remco. Thanks for chiming in. I have a couple questions prepared for you here. We also have Mike Senior, the founder of Specialized, join us. But I'd like to ask you a couple questions relating Bike Fit. Are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. So,
Born ready.
could you tell us about your experience with Bike Fit in your cycling career?
Well, of course, I think I've been working with Jason since I turned pro. And actually, we don't change big things. But over the years, I've had some pretty severe injuries, and because of that, we needed to adapt some stuff. But I think overall, Jason is always pretty honest with the numbers that he sees on the screens, and I mean, I believe him for that. In the end, we are performing on the highest level already since a few years, so I think it's something super important, especially to feel comfortable on the bike, because of course the rides that we do is not just 1 or 2 hour rides, but sometimes we go to 6, 7, 8 hours in training. So I mean, then you need to have a position on the bike which feels comfortable and that you're familiar with, or that you don't get any troubles with. So I think that's what the most important thing is that we are looking at during bike fits.
Thank you. And in terms of Specialized, you've been working with Jason, and Jason works with Human Performance. Did you have any experience prior to Specialized getting bike fits, or did it start with Specialized?
No, I had some guys at BioRacer, which was still now the main sponsor of the national team, who helped me with it. But I have to say, it was not the same level as Jason.
And do you remember the
it's
first?
It's because it's true.
I like that. Do you remember the first time you got to work with Specialized in Bike Fit? I know you already mentioned some of it, but do you remember the specific, like that first moment?
I have to look at Leo for this. If I'm not wrong, maybe at the wind tunnel in 2019, or at the team days in the month of October, probably November. But I think in my first year as a pro, I went straight away to the wind tunnel with the team, and I think we did a lot of work with Jason back there. And since then, yeah, I think every year I'm having bike fits and checkups by Jason. So it became a ritual actually.
Nice. And in terms of Bike Fit, right, you've received quite a few, I'm assuming at this point. Can you recollect the largest change that made the biggest impact for your career when it comes to Bike Fit?
Yes, I think the biggest, especially on the TT bike, the biggest change that we made was to come quite a bit forward with the saddle, to go a bit down and especially shorten the cranks. So I was using the 172.5s, I think, and I went to 165. And actually since then my level went up quite a lot in terms of power output and cadence work and stuff like that. And now on the road bike as well, we try to create a bit of the same, let's say, spinning motion of the legs that I have on the TT bike. We try to implement it a bit on the road bike as well, to not have these big changes during, if I swap bikes. So I think now we did the road bike as well. We went a little bit forward and slightly up or down, I don't even know actually. I just trust Jason with his numbers, so once he set up the bike, I feel ready to go for it. So.
Nice. Jason is standing in the aisle here. He's super excited. I don't know if you can see him.
Yes, now I see him.
Awesome. And then in terms of bike fits, you're getting quite a few. How does it impact your confidence going into race season? Can you tell us a little bit about your mental state and bike fit?
Yeah, quite a lot actually. Especially last few years with on the time trial bike. I mean, I think I've shown that I'm probably the best on that bike. So then you just know, like, I mean, the position is perfect. Saddle height, crank size, the bars, and etc. So I think, especially on the time trial bike, mentally, I think I've quite stepped up a few steps. And then on the road bike as well, I think we've been looking to have a bit of the same, or like a proper balance between a climbing position, but also a good aero position if I would be in a solo breakaway. And I mean, of course, it's always a bit strange in the first few training rides to feel that new position. But once you're familiar with the position and of how everything works, I think then, I mean, you just have confidence when first interval training goes well, then you know that nothing is wrong with the position and with the bike fit. So of course you need to feel it a bit, and then when everything goes well, it's a big confidence boost.
Very good. Thanks. You're doing great on the answers there, Remco. I really appreciate it. A question for our body geometry team here, because you do work with our product team, so let's keep proprietary stuff out of the mix. But when it comes to your collaboration with our biogeometry team and product, can you tell us a little bit about your experience with innovation from Specialized and products?
Yeah, of course. I think I'm only using those products, so it means that it's some good stuff. Especially with like the new saddles that came out, the insoles, just everything. It really feels super stable and supportive. And maybe Jason is gonna hate me for this, but I use the insoles like almost 1.5 years because they're just such high quality. And every time that I see him, I ask him for new ones, of course. But like when I'm used to some stuff, I don't really like to change. And it's the same with the body geometry products. It's like the saddles and the insole, just everything feels just from super high quality, super good stuff. And it's something that I mean, they know it already, but I'm gonna say it again. I just don't want to change. So that's why we work together pretty intensive.
I love it. Is there anything from a motivational standpoint you would like to tell to the crowd from Rwanda when it comes to their bike fitting careers? Because we all have really experienced bike fitters here attending the conference. They're here to learn more for bike fit in their future careers. But hearing from you the impact of bike fit and also getting some motivation, is there anything you'd like to say to them? And I might have one question come from the crowd before we close it out.
Well, I think it's super important to, I mean, I'm going to speak again about Jason because of course, yeah, he's my bike fitter, but the way he does it is like, we have a proper look into the numbers. We set up the bike how he thinks is going to work best for me. Then I'll be riding it the day itself or the day after, and then we'll speak together about the feeling, about how everything works. And then after that, if some things need to be adapted, we will give it a shot. But in my opinion, it's super important to listen to the bike fitter and to really keep your, let's say, your point of view about how the position on the bike should be, because of course the rider can always give his ideas. But yeah, I mean, we are not familiar with the products and the way of I mean, with the numbers on the screens when Jason does the fittings. So to me, it's super important that the bike fitter is just sure about his words, let's say, and about his explanation to a rider. And he doesn't need to be scared to say something to the rider if he thinks that something would work better for the guy. So I mean, that's how Jason does it. But I mean, he's not angry at me or something like that. It's just a proper conversation, and then we look for the best. I think the best example is the climbing TT this year in the Tour, which was of course not my best, but it was not about the bike. I think it's more about how we worked before, that we really have been looking into detail for probably 2 full days, if I'm not wrong, and then we created a new position on the TT bike, which was almost the same as the road bike, and in the end it worked pretty well, because on training I was feeling great on the position. So yeah, I mean, that's a perfect example of how a bike fitter should work in my opinion, and yeah, I would say try to copy how Jason does it, but not too much.
We'll create some good double gangers over here. I have one question from a participant here, so I'm going to give the mic away.
Hey Remco, I'm Frank Mazurski from Racer Sportif in Toronto, Canada. Big fan of yours. Way to go at the Worlds, man. You crushed it. I had a question specifically to the pedal system that you like to use, but more importantly, what cleat do you prefer to use and why?
I'm using the Shimano ones and the red colors. It's also I mean, it's actually a good question, because of course a lot of riders have some knee issues. But Jason and myself, we found out pretty early in our, let's say, work relation, pretty strong muscles. So good with the red cleats of Shimano, which are the ones that are completely blocked actually, so there's no no space of movement in it. So yeah, I think it's the way how I like it. I just don't want to feel that my feet are moving around on the pedals, as stuck as possible. Also my pedals from Shimano, I will tighten up completely. They will be completely closed. So I mean, if I would slip in a corner, I cannot put my foot out, of course, but I think in terms of performance, it's the best, as we know that you can lose a bit of watts with the other colors of cleats as you move a bit on the pedals.
Very good. So I invited Jason here because he's your fitter. You talked about him a lot. I figured the best way to close this out and say thank you for your time would be to just have Jason say bye. Might be a little silly, but I just want to have him close it out.
Thanks for jumping on, Remco. Good to see you on there, and yeah, bravo for the work at Worlds. That third TT win in a row is incredible. So we like seeing you in the World Champ stripes. It's a impressive jersey. So glad to see it in again this coming year. Yeah, I think you mentioned the cleats there, and as I recall, going back years, I think it was a progress for you. Like, you might have started on yellow, and then we went to red, or to blue, and then to red. So like, I think when we first met, as a young rider, I think you were on yellow, and then we kind of made our way through. And like you said, the fit is a progression, right? So like, we make small modifications throughout time. So that cleats is one good example, that like, every time we meet, we might make one small incremental improvement. And yeah, now he's on the red and it works well, so we leave that. If it becomes a problem, then we change it. So like, it's a constant evolution of fit. So anyways, I don't want to go too deep on that, but super glad you were able to join. Go get some rest. We're looking forward to the days ahead, and look forward to the next race.
Me too, thank you.
Okay, talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.